spending time alone and experiencing solitude are not the same thing. In order for you to dive deeper into your solitude is to go past that feeling of you are alone. When we are alone, or say you sit down alone, what are you actually doing? Are you doing something, or are you maybe going through social media, maybe thinking something? Are you sitting? Are you standing? Are you walking? What's the stance that you've taken at that point? To be in a state of solitude is literally to be comfortable with a loneliness that will engulf you to begin with, but eventually, when you traverse it, it turns into a sense of holy connection. Not Holy, but Wholly. You feel a sense of wholeness when you embrace loneliness. And in that loneliness comes solitude. Solitude is very, very solid. It's there. And it is through those moments of solitude when you will have glimpses of you. You will have glimpses of your conditioning. You will have glimpses of whatever it is that you identify yourself with, any associations you have. And in that time, you can really meet any crap that is sitting inside of you. But why is solitude so difficult? Why do we scramble to fill our time up? Why do we find it so difficult to stay still, so difficult for us not to be doing something? We find it very difficult because we are used to this. We're constantly on the move and we don't want to sit and face ourselves. We don't want to sit and we think, oh, well, I'm going to get bored. If you don't want to get bored and if you're sitting on your own, you'll think, oh no, we absolutely resist the feeling of loneliness. Loneliness is a gift because it is through loneliness that you can get past the idea that there is just you. After you get past that number one, you then go into number two. You're able to multiply. Your loneliness literally holds the key into your wholeness, into your feeling of connectedness with everything else around you. But it's not going to happen in an instant. It can for some. The gift you can give to yourself today is to say, I am going to take conscious steps in my life to face myself. I am going to take conscious steps to stop avoiding my triggers. And instead of avoiding my triggers, I'm going to stay there and get through them so that I can understand why I am being triggered. And if loneliness is one of your triggers because of which you tend to hold on to people and places and things, without which you feel that you cannot face this pain. You don't want to face this pain of being alone, because it feels like I'm really depressed. And it is actually through embracing that acute trauma that you feel, and depression, and that you feel that abandonment and rejection of your creator having left you, that you realize your love again. You realize yourself again in that loneliness. Yeah? I always recommend to whoever crosses paths with me and is in need of this guidance is, when was the last time you gave yourself the gift of solitude? Yeah. And in that solitude, solitude is actually very receptive. Loneliness is not receptive, but it is the step that is taking you. It is a stepping stone into you getting receptive into that solitude. Now, in this solitude, when you're able to see yourself and when you're able to embrace yourself, there is nothing that you're going to be dependent on. There's nothing outside of you that you're going to rely on to make you feel whole, complete, or that you amount to anything. That's freedom. You're completely free. And that gives you flexibility in terms of anything that's happening around you in your life. Life is going topsy-turvy. Maybe things aren't quite going according to plan. Wow, you've got that flexibility. You've got that openness, right? Because you gave yourself that gift of solitude. Solitude then gives you fortitude, right? And fortitude then gives you that step into whatever direction you want to take. I will leave you with this. Lots and lots of love.